good afternoon and welcome to Old Trafford, Manchester, on this glorious May afternoon for the Stone-Bitter Premiership final, the culmination of the 87-88 season between wdnes and helens, two clubs who just a few miles apart, but who today especially are fierce rivals. Well, the celebrations have already started with the second division Premiership having gone to Oldham in a magnificent match in which Featherstone, down 22 points to nil at half-time, came back to lead 26 points to 22, only for Oldham to snatch victory in the last minute to score and convert for a 30 points to 26 victory. If the thrills of that match are to be repeated, then we're in for a real tremendous match here. Well, let's hope that both sides can do justice to themselves under this magnificent Old Trafford setting, which must almost equal Wembley itself. But wdnes have led the league for most of the season, and will want to add the Premiership to their Championship trophy already on the sideboard. They are fortunately able to field the side that has done duty most of the season. So at full-back, they will have Duncan Platt. In the three quarters, Rick Thackeray, Andy Currier, Darren Wright and Martin O'Fire. At half-back, Barry Down and David Hume. And in the forwards, Kurt Sorensen, Phil McKenzie, Joe Greamer, Mike O'Neill, Paul Hume, Richard Ayres, with the substitutes Alan Tate and Steve O'Neill. St Helens, on the other hand, well, they came with a late league run to finish second, and are unfortunately for them missing Shane Cooper, who's returned home to New Zealand. Phil Beavers, Chris Arkwright and Andy Platt are all injured, and so the St Helens side will be Paul Lachlan at full-back. In the three quarters, Barry Ledger, David Tanner, Mark Elia and Les Quirk. At half-back, Mark Bailey and Neil Holding. And in the forwards, Tony Burke, Paul Grove, Stuart Evans, Paul Forber, John Fieldhouse and Roy Haggerty, with Sean Allen and Bernard Dwyer as substitute. And the referee, Mr. John Holdsworth of Kippax. Well, the scene is set for this final game of the season. The setting really is magnificent. We couldn't have been blessed with a better day. And one of the Manchester United regulars, Stuart, told me that if the capacity here is something like 54,000, then they're not far short of 45,000 here now. Beautiful setting it is. Let's hope the game lives up to it. Here we go. Roy Haggerty, who's filled so many positions for St Helens, now filling in at loose forward, the first to take it. Tony Burke, opposite number, Kurt Sorensen meets him. And of course, the game so much to live up to today, being on national television as well. To move it out, John Fieldhouse, the ball's lost, but it was Les Quirk who was quick enough to pick it up there for Saints. Holding. Stuart Evans. Lumbering in, that move looked rather slow. And I don't think Joe Graham had heard the referee shout hell there when he went charging in to make sure Stuart Evans went down. Back it goes to Paul Lachlan. And Paul Lachlan, besides filling in at full-back for Phil Beavers, of course, is playing for his tour place at full-back. They leave tomorrow, remember. So it's wdnes first touch of the ball. Rick Thackeray. I'm not feeling too happy about that tackle already. And already it's going to be Stuart Evans, I think, pulled out for swinging in there. Swinging in a stiff arm as Duncan Platt was going down in the tackle. And the interesting thing here is to watch in the first of the two matches, Oldham and Featherstone, as we looked at the flags on the stand at the far side, they're billowing out right to left, but it seemed to be easy to kick left to right. May seem a contradiction, but let's see what happens in this match as Sorensen goes charging in. And there were four St Helens players to meet him. I didn't think Paul Forber needed to be in that one. However, it's Mike O'Neill. And of course you've got to get domination in the forwards early in these games. That wasn't a run around McKenzie, wdnes switching it, Richard Ayres turning inside. He's halfway there. And St Helens defence just manages to cover up 10 yards short. Paul Hume, McKenzie, David Hume dipping inside one tackle. Can he get his pass out? He does to McKenzie. An early score coming up. Can he make it? A yard short. St Helens defence being stretched across to the O'Fire wing. Is Greenberg going to take them with him? He's over, but can he put the ball down? In fact, the referee says he can't, and it's changed over. is it? It wasn't the sixth tackle. No, it's a scrum with Neil Holden to feed. Well, it's out of the base of the scrum, which is a change in these days, as Holden looked to be slipping away from Richard Ayres there. Barry Ledger. Tony Burke. Burke and Sorensen having words there as Roy Hegarty tries to make it, loses the ball, regains it, and although the ball came loose, the referee has obviously had to give a knock on there. But Roy Hegarty is one of the St Helens forwards they'll be looking to make a gap to set his backs on the go. And immediately David Hume is penalised for wrong feeding of the scrum. Well, certainly Widnes offering the first threat in these early minutes. So can St Helens make something of this? Interesting formation here with three St Helens forwards lined up. This is a regular Widnes ploy as well. See if they can fool anybody with it. It's Paul Forber that takes it on. And it's Joe Grima that's being pulled out for swinging high at Forber as he came through. Well, I would have thought after the rather poor image that the game got in the Widnes-Warrington match just a week ago, that players of both sides would have been warned very severely, not only by their own clubs, but by the league itself, about such incidents. We've had two players penalised already in this opening 6 minutes for swinging against stiff arm. And Paul Loughlin there, I think, just appealing to the referee that Joe Grima and David Hume were not the requisite 10 yards back. But he's kicking towards what I would suggest is the Widnes end, and that's where the whistles and catcalls are coming from to try to put him off. But this lad, not very old, but a lot of experience behind him. He's kicked some great goals for St Helens, and here he goes to one again. Is it good? It is indeed. And so it's St Helens into a lead by 2 points to nil, courtesy of that Paul Loughlin goal. Well, I often think one of the best things to liven any game of rugby up is a quick score from one side or the other. Really gives some point to it. And that won't do St Helens any harm. Straight out there, picked up across the body down. Duncan Platt lying well up. The police all the way there by his opposite number, Paul Loughlin. So it's Widnes, David Hume. Widnes not looking particularly well organised. They get the ball out though, and it's Sorensen trying to thrust his way through. And he's going to make it. They'll never stop him now. Well, it didn't take Widnes long to reply to that lead that St Helens took. And it seemed to be Neil Holden that was the man who had to try and stop Sorensen. And it's not really surprising that he wasn't able to. I feel if he'd stood up to him to try to take man on ball and been flattened by the difference in size, he'd have been criticised. He went down low, but Sorensen's power took him through. And so from St Helens being in the lead and very, very happy about it, the tide has immediately swung. And this possible conversion for Duncan Platt is, well, it's on the right side of the field for him, being a left-footed kicker. And while he may not be as consistent as Paul Loughlin, he's also kicked some quite good goals. And it looks to me as though Rick Thackeray is going to have to come off once this attempt at goal has been made. Well, there's the attempt, and there's the conversion. And Widnes are making an immediate substitution. Rick Thackeray suffering a slight injury from the first tackle he went into, to be replaced by Alan Tate. And I'm sure when this lad signed for Widnes a few weeks ago from Scottish Rugby Union, he never dreamed that he would be involved in a game such as this, in a situation such as this. So it's 6 points to 2 to Widnes as Neil Holden restarts. And it's David Ayres, I think, making a mess of that one. Well, it was an awkward bouncing ball, but there was no one anywhere near him. I feel he could have taken it on his head, his chest, anywhere at all except his hands. And so St Helens to feed right on the Widnes line. A great danger to Widnes here. In. Out to St Helens rather slowly. Widnes collapsed the pack very well, so well that the referee said the ball would have to be put in again.
Substitution for Widnes, number 14, Alan Tate, playing number 2, Rick Thackeray.
And the thing which St Helens do want here is a quick heel. Well, that's a little more quick, or is it? Now, it was taken by the St Helens forwards there. They seem to almost stumble forward over it, but when they can sort themselves out, it's St Helens with 5 more tackles to go. Across the line it goes. It's Haggerty going to straighten up. He's going to try and thrust in. But he wasn't standing far enough back, I feel, to make an effort like that. He had to go from a standing start. It was Paul Grove. Still going left. Holden on the field house, trying to work a run around. Gets it out to Holden. Holden drops it. It goes loose. Nerves playing a part. Urgency. Defence is coming up very quickly. All having their part to play in this. Andy Curry are not too happy about that tackle there from Mark Bailey. But it's up to Mike O'Neill. Gets it clear to Mackenzie. He didn't really want that. He wasn't expecting it, I don't think. Blessed is he that expecteth not in this. He's got to be ready for anything. Joe Greener then making a little more ground than St Helens thought. And he and Roy Haggerty having a little bit of a set to there. They're going to settle down, play the game. There's a clearing kick from Duncan Platt. Well, it's driven St Helens back an awful long way. It's Paul Laughlin pushes the barrier of Whitechurch. A good clearing run here by Paul Laughlin. That really cleared the St Helens danger. Now can they keep it going, take it on? Tony Burke, ever ready to take it on, doesn't often get very far. He's always ready to take this ball when perhaps other people are not. In fact, that was showed evident. It wasn't Tony Burke at all. And a break here, beautiful break. For St Helens by Mark Bailey there. Not quite fast enough to clear away from Paul Hume. And Paul Hume penalised, I think, quite rightly for not letting Mark Bailey get up as quickly as he ought. And the two Hume brothers there, family, one trying to control the other when the situation is like that, or ready to back the other up if they think one of them is the injured party. Well, here's Paul Laughlin again. Kicked a beautiful goal after 6 minutes, straight down the centre of the pitch. Can he now reduce the Widnes lead by converting this one? It's a long way out. I reckon it's some 40 yards out. The distance won't bother him, the direction just might. We'll soon see. There he goes. And it's hit the post. Well, he couldn't have been closer without succeeding. And it's Paul Hume to pick it up and run the ball out. Well, that was very close indeed. So it's still Widnes 6, St Helens 2. Mackenzie. Across there. It's out to Joe Greener. A long ball out by Greener to Andy Currier. Andy Currier had to go wide, and he rather lost Alan Tate, who'll be still learning this game, of course. Really a centre, stepping in on the wing. Here goes Sorensen, leading as ever by example. And this time it's Paul Forber that's accused of going in with an elbow. Well, you remember I mentioned a few minutes ago one of the early tackles I didn't think Paul Forber needed to go in. And I think that was another occasion. There were sufficient St Helens players there having stopped Sorensen. Forber was accused of going in with the elbow, complained to the referee in some ungentlemanly terms and was penalised a further 10 yards. So it's witnessed now inside the St Helens half. Grima, the forward, bashing in here, trying to take the steam out of the opposition and move across this way. A change of direction. Sorensen, another change of direction. Quick switch to Mike O'Neill. O'Neill got through there where perhaps other people thought he shouldn't. But it's still witness looking ever dangerous. McKenzie ready to spurt at any time. David Hume backing up, half the passage going. Richard Ayres rather in the way there. I think there's something of a mix-up there between Richard Ayres and Martin O'Fire. The ball went adrift, and it's I think it's going to be St Helens to feed the scrum, and the referee saying come over to the 10-yard mark, never mind settling where you want to. And they haven't bothered to come to the 10-yard mark, and the referee hasn't bothered to send them there. However, the ball's out quickly to Holden, wondering what to do, trying to draw his man. Mark Bailey comes inside. Quick play of the ball, Paul Groves, John Fieldhouse getting his place in the team because of the injury to Andy Platt. So it's still St Helens. Now it's Tony Burke. But Mike O'Neill said, if you're going past me, you're going without the ball. Holden, kick for touch, and that looks good. These tactical kicks can be so very, very effective. So it's David Hume to feed. It's out to witness, going blind. But Roy Haggart is there to make sure he doesn't get very far. Alan Tate just shoveling the ball in. It's McKenzie running wide, trying to make some play. Oh, he's got the ball out, but he got it to Fieldhouse. Platson sets St Helens on attack right away. And Mark Healy just couldn't get into his stride there. Duncan Platt was at him. Now it's Fieldhouse again. And St Helens, for those three titles, playing it in the middle. Feels the forward's going to take it on. A back pass there. It's going backward. The referee said play on. Stuart Evans. And the St Helens forwards looking a little bit bunched as they come this way. Tony Burke looking as though he got further to run than they ought to be allowed to. Last tackle coming up. What was St Helens do? They're going out wide. Holden will run around there. Swing it across on Forber. Couldn't take that when it goes loose. And not as a chase. Andy Currier being held back off after he kicked it through. And Paul Laughlin content to fall on that ball and just get possession for St Helens. I thought as Andy Currier put that kick through, he was held back by one of the St Helens three-quarters turning to chase him. So St Helens on the halfway line, and John Fieldhouse saying, well, where the heck are you? You're certainly not organised. Paul Forber out of one tackle, trying to kick his way through. Andy Currier meets him. And the shout there of Richard Ayres went over the top. No, the referee didn't think that was a leading load of the touch. St Helens move it out here, and it's Mark Healy. Can this lad get a run? He's big enough, but he can't get away. Andy loses the ball, it goes adrift. Who's got it? The referee indicating it's witness ball in the person of McKenzie. And Hegarty, I thought, leaning on there. Sorensen, seeing that David Hume was likely to get a battering if he passed the ball, took it on himself, didn't get very far, but he'll be temporarily satisfied with that. Back it goes there to Grima, looking for the effect of Grima running straight, I think. But he seemed to be carrying the ball under the wrong arm to have any real effect there with a hand-off or real thrust. Back it goes to Barry Dowd. Another tactical kick through. And when, like Neil Holden, this a couple of minutes ago, with his very good tactical kick, if you can make the other side think and stand back a little bit further, then you may have a chance of picking up this title at the end of the day. Holden then to feed the scrum. In they go, rather ragged, but the referee said, well, that'll do for me. Out it goes St Helens to Paul Laughlin. A good handoff there for Laughlin. A good strong run this lad made. A very good clearing run there. That's the second time already, and a tremendous round of applause from his supporters in the goal behind him. And here comes Stuart Evans plodding away. Paul Groves on there to Roy Haggerty. A long ball ahead to Barry Ledger, but he hadn't a ghost of a chance there, really. Both Martin of Fire and Darren Wright were there to cover him. And the pack going in at an angle to each other there. I don't know why the referee can't get them to stand apart, facing each other and come in straight. And they're miles further than they should be. Short side is quite wide to Martin of Fire. Had to wait for that. Can he get round Barry Ledger? Not the first time anyway. Hutch Widnes moving the ball inside. Mike O'Neill. I think a bit put off there by the fact that it was almost trampling on his colleague Phil Mackenzie. Mackenzie trying to go before he'd really pick the ball up. Possession lost. Another scrum. Well, it's still Widnes, 6 points to 2. Well fed by Holden, well out by Holden. David Tanner going on the open side there. And some silly, stupid clown in the crowd brought a whistle with him, which could be interpreted at times by the players as the referee's whistle. We hope not, but it's a silly thing to do. A St Helens attack. Along the left there, Stuart Evans plunging in. Sorensen meets him. Saints trailing 6 points to 2. We're in the lead by 2 points a little bit, only for a minute. The Widnes tore through to reverse it out. Here it comes to David Tanner, but good tackle by Darren Wright stops him. Barry Ledger infield. Haggerty, he's going to plunge forward, that's for sure. Plays with so much energy, this lad. And here's Neil Holden again, putting the ball into touch just inside the Widnes 25 to try to pin Widnes back down at this right hand end. And no wonder why the scrums don't form up on the 10-yard mark. Whether either side thinks they'll have a tactical advantage further in. Well, the scrum's halfway around. It eventually comes out to Widnes. And Roy Haggerty looking as though it's claiming he's trapped. And Mackenzie's suffering again. Well, Widnes have already suffered one injury with Rick Thackeray. Mackenzie looking as though he's suffering occasionally in the scrum. And it's early days yet. Creamer. Sorensen is acting halfback. Out to Duncan Platt. Duncan Platt trying to come through. Ducked out of one tackle, ducked out of another. But he couldn't get clear enough for his colleagues to realise that he was through. It's Mackenzie. Now can Mackenzie's long ball out there. And Curry couldn't take it. Nor could Les Quirk. There could have been danger for either side there if either of the players on either side had been able to pick the ball up cleanly enough. Referee getting the scrum round to something like this should be. Out to Neil Holden. I almost thought Holden was playing, or the St Helens back playing a rugby union style there. Holding the ball to try to drag the Widnes 3/4 offside. Whether that was the intention, I don't know. But whatever happened, they got the free kick. So that set them on the attack again. Now, can they make anything of this? Paul Groves. Neil Holden out this way on the open side. Forward run around there to Fieldhouse. Several people handle the ball. Comes out here to Barry Ledger, but he was met immediately by O'Fire. So it's St Helens moving the ball in again. Long ball out there. Paul Loughlin couldn't take it. And it's Stuart Evans. Well, he's not going to go very far, is he? I think he was wanting Les Quirk to come inside him. So St Helens not looking particularly organised at the moment. flick the ball out. Anything could happen, and there it may well do as Les Quirk slipped away from one tackle there. So it's St Helens turning on the heat across the line. A long ball out here. It's to Haggerty. It's halfway through. Thumped off one. To Neil Holden, flicking it back. Not enough of them. It's loose. And it's still a knock-on. Quickly out to Widnes. With lots of time to run to decide what he was going to do, but decided he wasn't going to do very much. Duncan Platt. And again, Mackenzie's slow getting up from these scrummages. He doesn't look too good at all. Sent it into the game, and it's Richard Ayres. Stopped 10 yards short of the halfway line. It goes to Paul Hume, Joe Greamer, and Widnes not looking particularly well organised. I think maybe a little bit bothered about Mackenzie. It'd be a great loss to them, but he has to go up, but he doesn't look so bad now, does he? On there to Paul Hume. Can he get clear? There's the support. Turned inside. Now can he give Martin a fire run? They want to. And Darren Wright decides to go on his own, and he's going to make it, I think. Well, that was a great try. And it's ironic that it should come from Mackenzie, who I was saying didn't look too happy at all, getting up from the scrums in a rather belated fashion. And while the cameras may be trained on Darren Wright, the scorer of the try, back near the halfway line, Mackenzie is receiving attention from both the Widnes physios. Well, that showed you give this Widnes team half a break, and they can take advantage of it. And I think it showed the threat also from Martin O'Fire, because I'm sure St Helens' defence was concentrating more on Martin O'Fire than they were on Darren Wright, and who can blame them? And Darren Wright, having turned Martin O'Fire inside, used him as a decoy, went himself and played got into the corner just before they could push him into touch. "25 minutes gone. Can Andy Curry do about this? A beautiful shot by Andy Currier there. Well, whichever player from whichever side can kick goals like that, they are beautiful shots. They make it 25 minutes of this game gone, and it's Widnes leading by 12 points to 2. So there we go again with Neil Holden, and this time it's Martin O'Fire. Well, he did this before. He did this last week and nearly caused the sensation at Widnes, but Neil Holden just managed to get to the ball before him. Well, Martin O'Fire did exactly that against Warrington last week after Widnes had scored and restarted the game by kicking the ball to him, and he was just stopped a yard short of the Warrington line. Neil Holden read the situation very well for St Helens there and just made sure that this time O'Fire didn't get anywhere near the St Helens line. But before the scrum, before it can be fed, Mackenzie accused of loose arm. Well, St Helens, from being in a 2-point lead after 6 minutes, have now got all on. Paul Groves and the three forwards lined up again. Who has it? It's Forber running away with it, switched inside to Haggerty. One man beaten. There's the pass to Bailey. Couldn't quite turn it inside. John Feeler said, "Oh dear me," as Stuart Evans goes plunging in. And St Helens really trying to pick up the pieces here. Being in a bit of a mix-up, Paul Groves had to come back. Fling it this way to Neil Holden. There's Paul Laughlin linking up, but spotted very well there by Darren Wright. And what a good game this is turning out to be. Here's Neil Holden, a long ball here to Haggerty. He's the one that could crash his way over. Turned it back, but Bailey waited for the bounce. And Barry Dow didn't. Paul Hume. And Sorensen. Mackenzie is acting half-back. Out it goes across to Greener. Flicks the ball, it's loose. Anybody could have it. Picked up eventually by Andy Courier. Despite the shout of the Widnes crowd behind the goal to my right, pretty sure the referee was right. The ball went forward there between Courier touching it the first time and the second. So it's St Helens to feed, and in a very good position. The Widnes three-quarter line lying very flat, dangerously near offside. In it goes, it's out to Holden. Bailey flicking it across. Elia decides it's not going to be a runner and turned inside himself, and Widnes read that quite well. Touch Bailey, this way to Neil Holden, thinking about a short kick through, inside there to David Tanner, flicks it, keeps the ball going to Bailey, long ball out there to Paul Laughlin. Laughlin trying to step inside, but wrapped up very well indeed there by Richard Ayres and Sorensen. Paul Groves, is it a run on this time? It is, the long ball out there, I thought there was a gap, maybe there is a gap. There to John Fieldhouse, that pass looked a shade forward, but the referee was bang on the spot and didn't say anything, so I think it wasn't forward. Can Saints turn this out, a back pass there onto forward, can forward plunge his way through, but a leg tackle there from Phil Mackenzie stopped him. Now can Evans power his way over, he's going to try, he's over the line, but he can't put the ball down. The referee said no, he was held on his back. Well, Saints going very close indeed. And the pack at right handles to where they should be. Surely the referee can't allow David Hume to feed the pack in a situation like that. And it's out to Widnes. And will Troy Haggerty offside there because he was certainly around that pack very, very quickly. Greener out of one tattle, out of another tattle. It wasn't Greener. Credit Richard Ayres with that. There's a little overhead kick. Is the danger here? Well, Barry Ledger managed to get back. Bailey inside there. Tanner. Groves, Holden, and the Tanner, Fieldhouse, a long ball out there to Mark Elia, on the burst, can he make it? Did he send Les Quirk? Well, Quirk turning inside, he's going to be surrounded by Widnes players, I think. Just that, look, that final lack of pace there that stops St Helens scoring, but can Turnenberg take this on? Well, St Helens going very close, Barry Ledger's in there to see if he can use his pace. Jigging about, gets it about to Holden. Holden wondering where can he go. Dummy there, beautiful dummy. Can he get a colleague through? It's John Fieldhouse. Last battle coming up for St Helens. 5 yards short. Harry goes to the right to Holden. Little grubber kick through. It's too far on field, yes. Duncan Platt saw that coming and realised right away it was going to go much too far. And Saints are going to be careful here because this is a quick Widnes ploy. They're away very quickly. The support's there. And this could result in a try from the get a fire away. But Richard Ayres realised that Barry Ledger was policing a fire all the way. But what danger there is from the Widnes side with these moves. But they move the ball across now to the right. It's Mike O'Neill turning it back inside to Barry Dowd. Barry Dowd looking to go on his own. Looked like a high tackle in fact, but it was Tony Burke grabbing Barry Dowd's shirt collar. No danger in that. Mackenzie slipping through a tackle to try and get pulled in, but it doesn't go. Does come to a fire, but he can't get away. But Richard Ayres backs him up, and Richard Ayres can, and he's got the support, and it's Paul Hume. David, who I beg your pardon, cantering over there. And again, when you look back at that try, it came really out of nothing. There didn't seem to be any threat whatsoever to the St Helens line until Richard Ayres stepped out of a tackle which he should never have been allowed to step out of. And that not set them on the way because he had the support and there were no St Helens players in sight. So with this now, with a very commanding lead, 16 points to 2, and it could well be more with this comparatively simple kick to Duncan Platt, and he's missed it. Commentator's nightmare. Don't say things are not going to happen, they will. Don't say a very simple kick at the conversion. See what happens when you say things like that. Well, will Widnes rue that mistake? Up to now, the run of play says they won't. But in the previous game, we saw what can happen. So it's Martin Afire. Well, he won't try that little kick through again because Neil Holden was patrolling the area behind his forwards. Richard Ayres. McKenzie, Paul Hume, and Roy Haggerty, and Paul Hume doesn't look too happy. Well, I must say that I'm very surprised that players of either side are using tactics like this. I know it's often said this is a man's game and they're part and parcel of the game. For me, they are never part and parcel of the game, and particularly when the game has had its image tarnished somewhat from the match at Widnes last Sunday. We can do without that, particularly when it's on national television. So, restart. Let's hope the players forget it and get on with the game of rugby as it should be played. Sorensen, Grima, can't hold the ball. But Saints out very quickly. Can they make anything of this? I feel Haggerty should have let that ball go quickly, not to give Widnes defence time to recuperate. Now to go on. Can he give Quirk a run? He tried to go himself. Eventually bundled over the touchline. And noticeably Andy Courier giving new boy Alan Tate a welcoming pat there, a congratulatory pat there to say, well done mate, you're learning the game fast. I thought Roy Haggerty was at fault there, I think, with not letting the ball go out quickly enough to his left. So David Hume feeds the scrum. Puts it out there. And here's the kick for Martin Fire. That's another Widnes, but the chase for it. He's not going to make it this time. Barry Ledger is there well before him, but the Fire's there to make the tackle, and Widnes have gained an awful lot of ground. So it's Paul Laughlin playing a great game in this different position for him at full back. He has played there before, but you have to adapt completely to completely different positions. Saints move the ball across. Tony Burke. Head going, yes, I thought Tony Burke guilty of head-butting there. The referee thought so. I think he's a little bit upset about the way he was being handled there, particularly by Kurt Sorensen. But looking from this angle, I couldn't see that at the time Kurt Sorensen had done anything illegal. I've no doubt Tony Burke might disagree with me completely. So what? It looked as though Widnes, having decided to kick for goal, had then changed their mind, because even Steve O'Neill himself with the sand was hesitant about whether he was needed. So Andy Courier sharing the goal kicking duties with Duncan Platt. Kicked a beauty off the touchline to help Widnes into a 6-2 lead earlier on. Can he manage another one? Well, it's a good effort, but swinging just wide of this near post. And by my watch, something like 2 to 3 minutes of this first half left. There's a short kick by Neil Holding. Well done, didn't quite come off as Saints would have hoped, but at least it was something different as Mike O'Neill tries to get away from Roy Haggerty tackle. Mackenzie, David Hume, Paul Hume, a long way out to O'Fire. O'Fire turning inside, keeps the ball going, across to Paul Hume. Mike O'Neill flicks the ball anyway. Now can Widnes move the ball across? The Saints did not do it last time. A long run there for Alan Tate. Now can he show his speed? This is the first time this lad's had chance to show his speed, I think, he came to Widnes, but unfortunately for Widnes, he stepped into touch. Well, I think it's the first time in a game that Alan Tate has been able to show his paces there. They said he was reputed to be quite pacey, and I think that showed he's not too slow. Out to St Helens, the Bailey. But the St Helens three-quarters, I feel, are not running into the ball there. They're rather standing still as though they're not quite sure they're going to get the ball out of the scrum. Now it's Stuart Evans. So Paul Groves, now Stuart Evans. But lumbering in, I feel, there. And I don't think he's going to take much out of the Widnes pack with runs like that. Paul Grove, the bargain buy from Salford. Again, Saints let the ball go adrift. Ely has to pick up the pieces. Out this way to Holden. He's going to use another tight little kick, I think. And a very good tight little kick it is. Those are the kicks that give your own forwards some encouragement, saves them an awful lot of effort. Just unfortunate that the other side generally have to put the ball in the scrum and you don't get much chance of winning it after gaining so much ground. Well, with the sort of Jim McKenzie's head in the scrum, it seems they can get it out anyway. Duncan Platt. And O'Fire looking dangerously near offside away to my right here. He was standing well up when that ball was played. Still it's Widnes moving the ball across. David Hume, ever in support. And there's the half-time hooter. After a first half that saw St Helens take an early lead after 6 minutes with a penalty goal by Paul Loughlin and apply the early pressure. But Widnes hit back immediately with 6 points, which took them into 6 points to 2 lead, and from then on, although St Helens have applied a certain amount of pressure, Widnes have always seemed to be in command and have shown that given half a chance, they have the speed to convert that half chance into points. Half time here then at Old Trafford in this Stone Bitter Championship Premiership playoff. St Helens 2, Widnes 16. And so it's back to the second half of this Premiership final, with Widnes leading by 16 points to 2. And as I mentioned in my opening remarks, in the second division championship, we had a tremendous comeback by Phillipson Rovers after being 22 points to 0 down. They came back to lead 26-22 before having victory snatched from them. Well, will this happen in this game? We're now about to find out. Alan Tate giving his supporters a thrill there, thinking he was through to have a run. But Mike O'Neill now takes it, looking to get the ball away. Didn't think it was a good thing to do, and the referee said play on. He lost it. So St Helens with an early chance of attack. Now can St Helens move it? It's Tony Burke steps out of an attempted tackle by Barry Dowd there. But if it's any good for St Helens, I might say, yeah, I was just going to say, yes, they don't seem to be moving the ball very quickly and cohesively. But they've got another 6 tackles to go now, and already the substitute is on with the sand. Well, I suppose it's so early in the second half, the first minute of the game, you get a chance to get any points at all, you've got to take them. And with Duncan Platt making an attempt just before half-time to convert from there, and me mentioning it was a comparatively simple kick. Well, it's still a comparatively simple kick. See what Paul Loughlin makes of it. No doubt about that one. So it's St Helens 4, Widnes 16. Well, there's certainly no need for panic in the Widnes camp yet. This Duncan Platt restart. David Tanner taking all the time in the world there to run the ball out. John Fieldhouse getting the ball out there, support there. Not sure it seems to be quick enough, I would say, it's at the moment. Now Stuart Evans. Of course, St Helens throughout the season got the name of being a tremendously strong second half team. Could they show it this time? But it's Alan Tate faced by a posse of St Helens players. Duncan Platt. Inside there, Barry Dowd. Well, that was a poor play of the ball. They got away with it. But as a result, Widnes were pushed back. And the referee ruling that the ball was stolen by Paul Grove. That's all right. But such enthusiasm by St Helens didn't get them, and who's it being brought out, whoever it is, could really be heavily penalised. But the referee rather being lenient there. Paul Hume, it was accused of swinging a punch in there. And I can only repeat what I said in the first half, that I thought in a game like this, anyone that was accused of throwing in a punch like that from either side would have immediately been sent at least to the sin bin. If only to show the nation that Rugby League is going to put its house in order. We're not going to stand any of this. But we've seen, I think, 4 penalties so far for just that infringement, and up to now no one has been removed from the field. But can Paul Loughlin pull 2 more points back? There it goes, and he's pulled that one wide as well. So let off for Widnes, but they'll have to restart from the 25 line and give St Helens possession back. So St Helens, Barry Ledger. The game starting rather quietly, I feel, as this second half. Paul Groves is laying on the move. Let it come to Tony Burke. Paul Groves acting half-back. 2 hookers here, Mackenzie and Groves, that have got to be watched very carefully. They can both make a long run at their waist. Oh, hard line from Tanner there. Well picked up by Barry Ledger. And I think the referee must have ruled there that if Martin Rafai touched the ball at all, or if the ball touched him, it wasn't purposeful, I don't think. I think that's the reason he gave the knock on or forward pass. One against the head. Bit of it St Helens that Neil Holden just couldn't pick it up. It was spinning like mad. Straight out to Widnes. David Hume never needed to move. Andy Courier came inside. Got out of one field, got out of another. And this is slack tackling by St Helens. And they're going to make it, I think. Yes, Paul Hume's there again. David Hume. Why do I keep calling him Paul? David Hume, of course. Well, even though it's so early in the game, that could well be the killer punch. St Helens had given themselves a little bit of hope with the 2 points from Paul Loughlin's penalty, and then further attacks in the Widnes half, but such slack tackling that let Andy Courier through. Big lad though he may be, I feel Alec Murphy will be rather fuming on the bench below us to realise that just how easy it was for Widnes to score, because Widnes are known very, very much for their ability to back up. Once a half chance is there, they can often make that half chance pay. So with Andy Courier's conversion, it makes it now St Helens 4, Widnes 22. And Stuart Evans has been brought off to be replaced by Bernard Dwyer. Well, 18 points is an awful lot to pull back against a team like Widnes in a situation such as this. Mackenzie. I wondered how long it would be before he tried one of his solo dashes, but it's so very dangerous when he does decide to use them. And there's David Hume with a tight little kick. Is it going to make the touchline? Yes, indeed it is. Lescourt couldn't get back quite quickly enough. Now talking about Neil Holden's kicks for touch in the first half, giving his forwards encouragement. Well, those are the kind of kicks that make forwards a little bit sick when they're well behind. Holden feeding the scrum. Bernard Dwyer picks it up. Widnes caught offside. So it's Paul Loughlin wondering which is the better side to kick towards. Brings St Helens was 2 yards into the Widnes half. Now St Helens really have to turn on any heat they may have got. So out it goes, and it's Tony Burke. And there's a battery of players waiting for him. Paul Groves run around with Holden. A long ball out there. Fieldhouse can't hold it. Goes adrift. The referee said it went backwards. Still St Helens in possession. Moved out this way. Across it comes. It's Haggerty whom we've seen little so far. Now he's put Paul Talbot through. One forward goal. Turn it inside. There's the support. St Helens turning on. Bernard Dwyer takes it again. Scramble for it. Was it the St Helens man tattle before he got the ball? The referee said not. And one of the Widnes players suffering from what went on there is Mackenzie again. So David Hume decides he put in another of his kicks. It's rolling, and it's into touch. And I wonder what Paul Loughlin's saying about that. And how must St Helens feel when they've just dragged themselves back up into the Widnes half to try to get over the line to reduce these arrears, and one kick from David Hume puts them back inside their own 25. So into the scrum, it's out to St Helens. Bernard Dwyer, John Fieldhouse looking for the support. It wasn't there. There it goes again. Mike O'Neill. And St Helens causing themselves all kinds of problems. And they have a man injured as well. They turn it back and it's Mackenzie. What an overlap Widnes will have here. They play simple rugby. Flicking the ball out. Sorensen. Can he get the ball out? Yes, there's always people there. Barry Dowd. Is he going forward? Interception by Paul Laughlin. Well, this is interesting stuff. But St Helens on the rack at the moment. I'm not sure they would think it's particularly interesting. Neil Holden. Roy Hegarty. Groves out to Neil Holden again. Now Holden with a tactical kick, and that looks to be an excellent kick indeed. What a wonderful kick that is from Neil Holden. Just look at, he must have gained something like 60 yards with that kick. A tremendous boost for his forwards, who at times are beginning to look as though they're a little bit tired, facing this 18 points deficit, and it must be very hot out there. So it's David Hume to feed the scrum. It's one against the head, coming out to St Helens. David Hume penalised for being offside. Neil Holden takes a quick tap. Can St Helens catch Widnes on the hop here? Look as though they had to move it across. It's still going. It's Paul Laughlin, long ball here to Quirk, but he's got to stay inside. The Widnes cover was across. Well, can St Helens turn anything out of this? It's Haggerty wants to draw his man Paul Grove to run around to Haggerty. It's missed, but it's been picked up by Ely. Gets out of one tackle, turns inside. A big lad, but can they hold him? And it looked as though Sorensen slung a punch there. And that to me looked completely unnecessary. Well, Paul Grove taking up the wrong position, but the referee not penalising him for doing so. Perhaps in a bit too much of a hurry, trying to take advantage of Widnes not being quite ready. But certainly we can do without punches like that from either side. Now here is St Helens formation again. They're going further and further back with this, but they're working on the short side. Turn this side, all kinds of intricate moves there. But no one was really running hard enough to crack the Widnes defence. Now they move it across. Bernard Dwyer, can he handle something? Fieldhouse getting very close. There's so many Widnes people around him, he's not a chance of getting the ball away. Bernard Dwyer flicks it out this way. Tony Burke never really had the ball properly. Seemed to be feeling for the ball all the time he was running. Are they too near the Widnes line? Can Widnes not get far enough back? Or can they not get Widnes far enough back? Well, the tattles are ticking away, they're so close. A long ball out here to Bailey to Paul Laughlin. Laughlin so near, and that's 5 tackles gone. Now they're going to turn it inside. Holden puts a kick through, and it was snatched there. But quite honestly, I don't know who. It could be Paul Hume. Now long ball at the Sorensen. Avoid one tackle. Get that ball out to the left. It could have gone there. Could have given a fire run, but Mackenzie's still keeping it going. Or is he? It's still going to drift. It's still going towards the left. The Widnes people are looking for this. Now he's away. Listen to the shout. Can they get him? He's just stepped in touch. Well, that was the kind of run that I'm sure, other than the St Helens spectators, the whole ground has been waiting for. It erupted when he got the chance to run. Fortunately for St Helens, they were just able to force him into touch. And now St Helens are bringing off John Fieldhouse and bringing on, I think it's Sean Allen. Well, Sean Allen spent, I think, most of his time at St Helens in the back division, but he's a big enough lad to go into the pack. And that is seeming where Alec Murphy's going to use him now. Out of St Helens. Widnes standing very, very flat indeed. Out it comes, and the ball can't be held. It's Widnes in possession. Darren Wright for Widnes. Now can Widnes add to the score here? Out it comes this way. Paul Hume, good passing here, and the Courier can't hold it. Now it's going to drift. Whose ball is it? The referee said no, Widnes made the first mistake. St Helens didn't get any advantage. They must scrum down. Well, it'll be interesting to see if Sean Allen can add any thrust to this St Helens attack. Roy Haggerty's gone into the second row with him, and Bernard Dwyer's at loose forward. And the fact, again, free kick to Widnes, taking too long to fall in the scrum. I was just going to say the pack is wandering a long way from where the incident took place. So the game goes on, and again, for the umpteenth time this match, Mackenzie needing attention. The Widnes physio is on to him, but St Helens won't mind about that. It's Groves inside there to Dwyer. Dwyer onto Tony Burke. Burke straightening up, reaching the Widnes 25 before he's stopped. And Sorensen, I think, lying on a little bit there. But it's St Helens moving the ball across, seeming to have the overlap, but only play set. Ordinary rugby here as Elia goes for the line, turns it inside there to I think it was Barry Ledger, but there were too many by the touchline. I think that the impetus was lost. Now Saints move the ball across. Now is Haggerty straightening up. Saints, come with me. Oh, and a brilliant dummy! What a classical dummy that was. Well, it's a long, long time since I have seen any team fooled by a dummy such as that. It was absolutely brilliant. So brilliant that I'm sure Haggerty himself must have been absolutely amazed when he spun round the 360 degrees to find himself facing the Widnes line and not a white shirt in front of him. Well, credit to Roy Haggerty there. He really split the Widnes defence wide open, and Paul Laughlin will surely convert this. And so with something like 18 minutes of the second half gone, it's now St Helens 10, Widnes 22. So who knows? Widnes are now bringing off Joe Bremer and bringing on Steve O'Neill. Well, this has been the usual ploy this last few matches. Sometimes work the other way about, but one or other of them has started the match and then been substituted. So Duncan Platt, this time it's Holland taking the ball, and Saints revitalised here as Sean Allen came charging in there. Now what's it done for them? Well, Tony Burke was ever ready to take it on and dragging Widnes further than Widnes will want him to be allowed to drag. Quick play the ball, Paul Groves takes it on, tries to dummy his way through. Certainly added more spice to the game. Here's Haggerty, he's going to try to power his way through, turns it inside to Elia, lone ball out there. Can Saints move it quickly across the line? Won't feel they tend to be running too far with the ball, rather than letting the ball do the work. Still, they brought them 4 points. Oh, that intended kick through from David Dwyer straight into Steve O'Neill's midriff. Mackenzie out there, David Hume out to Richard Ayres. Poor play the ball there. Paul Hume had to come away with it on his own. David Hume acting halfback inside Sorensen. Sorensen long ball out there to Mackenzie. Mackenzie turning the ball inside to Michael O'Neill, gone outside in support. Beautiful indeed. And here's Darren Wright stepping inside, trying to get the ball. It's there to be picked up. Oh, it hit a St Helens player. Well, I don't know what the referee's given that one for at all. I'm sure everybody on the ground must be amazed by that decision. And the carrier's pass inside hit a St Helens player, was there to be picked up by a fire, and the referee said no, it was a forward pass. Well, only John Holdsworth can explain that one. Led off for Saints. In the scrum, out to St Helens. And we're halfway through this second half. And St Helens still got 12 points to pull back. I think young Mark Bailey there was saying how far away is the nearest support, and it was too far. Haggerty, always with the ball, ready to go. Tony Burke taking them on. Just hard forward play at the moment. And it comes, here's the kick from Neil Holden, kept in by Alan Tate. Wrong-footed someone very well there, flick the ball across. Sorensen can't get the ball out. Very good, very well-timed tackle indeed there. But I think it was David Tannum. So it's still cut and thrust. Mackenzie inside, Mike O'Neill, Sorensen, Paul Hume, out of here to Richard Ayres. Wanted support on his inside, couldn't see it. And there's another tight little kick. Into touch. Just a few yards from the St Helens line. The free kick to Widnes, because St Helens refused to form the scrum in the correct position. Having been sent across toward the 10-yard line, they then came about 10 yards forward. So, quick tap. It's Widnes going across the line, Barry Dowd not being able to get the ball away. They didn't quite take it properly in the first place. Now, what are Widnes going to work here? It's Mackenzie, short ball to Paul Hume, looking for the return. It's still adrift, but which way do Richard Ayres have to take it? Can he get over? Can they hold him back? A yard short. Steve O'Neill behind it. He's going to have a do. Paul Hume gets the ball out to Sorensen. Now there must be danger here. A quick flip there, and Andy Curry's going to go himself. He isn't. Gets Alan Tate in. And the St Helens defence completely outstretched. I thought there was danger when Sorensen got the ball in the position he was in, because he could almost have felt it taking much nearer the line himself with his speed and his strength. Quarter of an hour of the game left. St Helens 10, Widnes 26, with a possible conversion to come. Let's say the right-hand side of the field for a left-footed kicker. Here he goes. Has he curled it in? Not quite. Widnes 26, St Helens 10, and now St Helens bringing off. They're bringing off David Tanner, bringing John Fieldhouse back. But I don't think it's a last desperate throw by Alec Murphy at all. I think it's force of circumstances, in fact. So Neil Holden restarts. Straight to Martin O'Fire. I wonder why. Well, again, he's policing behind the St Helens defensive line in case O'Fire decides to put a little kick through. Paul Hume can't hold it. Bernard Dwyer can. Well, St Helens on an attack that I'm sure they never expected. May hope for a Paul Grove turning inside there. It's Haggerty across there to Bernard Dwyer. Cross the line again. Mark Bailey. Paul Groves run around Haggerty, trying a dummy again, but it didn't come off this time. And the referee ruling that although Barry Dowd came away with the ball, it was just as he shouted held. I can only presume that had it been after he shouted held, it would have been a free kick to St Helens. St Helens to feed the scrum. Puts it in. Is it coming out of St Helens? Is Bernard Dwyer coming away with it? but Roy Haggerty was almost offside there, and losing the ball, always has it ready to go, but as a result lost it completely. His colleagues weren't there to take it from him. There, St Helens penalised for being offside to play the ball. Relief for Widnes. George McKenzie, David Hume, Steve O'Neill. Again, David Hume, Mike O'Neill, and David Hume must be in line, I would think, for possible man of the match. He's scored 2 tries and he's been in so much work, and here's another of his tactical kicks, which must have rather sickened the St Helens side at times. Now Les Quirk. He's trying to straighten up and try to run through the Widnes defence. Forward. But he was never going to do anything else with that other than just get as far as possible. Mark Bailey, a long ball out there. Another long ball gets sent into Barry Ledger, but I feel sorry for Barry Ledger in a situation like that. I feel sorry for anyone in a situation like that. Now it's John Fieldhouse flicking it back to Barry Ledger, whipping it across this way. That's Sean Allen. But not a lot of organisation in Saints play. They're getting the ball out, and Paul Laughlin going away without the ball there. Almost looking there as though he just didn't want that ball. Paul, David Hume, into the scrum. Right way. Widnes lining up to take the ball here. Perhaps there were too many of them, because I felt they really weren't at full speed there. Now Mike O'Neill comes in. Lost the ball. And with something like 10 minutes of the game to go, it's looking more and more as though Widnes have this premiership trophy wrapped up. Stranger things have happened, but up to now Saints haven't shown an awful lot of thrust in that respect. Still Bernard Dwyer, turning the ball back inside to Les Quirk. He never really had much of a chance of a run. Paul Groves, Roy Haggerty. There, Paul Grove backing him out. That's the kind of play Haggerty wants. Tony Burke out there now to Sean Allen. Allen having a turn in midfield and finding himself running back into the Widnes defence. A long ball out there eventually gets to Mark Ely. Can he make the line? He's got Martin a fire turn. Barry Ledger inside, and Ledger must surely. Yes, he does. A good try by Barry Ledger, that. But he held the ball very well there when he was starting to reach over and still keep control of it as he put it down. So can Paul Laughlin convert this one? Again, it's difficult. It's from the right-hand side, and being a right-footed kicker coming slightly round the corner, you tend to pull the ball across the face of the post. That's just what happened there. And so it's St Helens 14, Widnes 26. And I suppose Widnes must realise that should St Helens score 2 quick tries to convert them, then the scores will be level. Duncan Platt restarts. Paul Laughlin. Had such a good first half, this lad, not looking quite so effective the second half. Well, that was a dolly of a pass, but John Fieldhouse dropped there. Those are the kind of mistakes you don't want just after you pull some points back. Oh, Roy Haggerty out of the pack, but look at the room that Widnes have to score. My goodness gracious. No wonder the St Helens side are trooping back in a very dejected fashion. There was so much space on that right hand side there, the St Helens right, the Widnes left, that Darren Wright must have thought it was his birthday. And isn't it strange that in the first half, after 6 minutes, St Helens took the lead with a penalty goal, and a minute later Widnes swept back to get a try and conversion to take the lead 6 points to 2. And it looked as though St Helens, just having scored there through Barry Ledger, Widnes was saying, don't be so cheeky, how dare you score a try like that, and just went about it. And what St Helens were doing, I don't know. It looked to me as though Roy Haggerty was standing up in the centre position and hadn't a clue what to do about it when Widnes flicked the ball out that way. Well, Andy Courier kicked one goal from the touchline in the first half. Can he manage another one? He can indeed. Well, there you are. So, Widnes into a 32 points to 14 lead. And I make it about 6 minutes to go. And surely there's no side in the league can pull these points back against Widnes. Well, kicking towards O'Fahey again, but it didn't reach him. And I've got a funny idea somehow that Widnes might try to pull St Helens across to the Widnes right and then flick it back quickly across to the left. Perhaps to let Martin O'Fahey finish with a flourish. It wouldn't please the St Helens fans, but I'm sure Widnes will be very happy about it. Paul Hume taking it on in midfield there. Mackenzie pointed to his right. I'm not sure it'll go that way. I thought not. He was aching to get that ball out there, but couldn't quite time it. So it's left. Duncan Platt with a kick behind. A good tight little kick there. All these kicks tend to sicken the side against whom they're played quite a lot. So it's Neil Holden to feed the scrum. Swinging away, straight out. The referee said, no, that won't do. And it's noticeable that it seems to be a much bigger spring in the Widnes step now than in St Helens. That was never in the pack. There's a kick for a fire to chase. Barry Ledger's got to cover it safely, and he does so, and makes a good getaway. Bernard Dwyer. Paul Groves acting half-back. And it comes John Fieldhouse. He had difficulty holding that one, didn't he? Tony Burke flicked out there. Haggerty shapes the kick, makes a half break. There the support. Paul Grove. Can he get the ball at support? They cross, but accidental, I think. Loose, lets the ball loose, I think, for a colleague. I'm not sure that I think that was deliberate. Saints moving the ball across. Bailey out there to Sean Allen. Allen trying to dummy, come through the middle. Flicked it back, there it goes adrift. Neil Holden will pick it up. Look for a long ball, it's intercepted. What a dummy of a cross, and there's Mackenzie. He looked for a fire, I think. No, he won't, he doesn't need to. Well, St Helens being their own worst enemies. I thought Neil Holden would look for a long ball out to the St Helens right there. In fact, he did. It was never really on. And there it was. Mackenzie, despite all the attention he's had to have from the physio. 36 points at the moment. And with Andy Courier in this kind of goal-kicking form, who knows what. And it's noticeable that away to my left, the Stretford end, there are far fewer spectators than there were 10 minutes ago. I think the St Helens crowd, many of whom were at that Stretford end, have decided that they'll make an early exit, get in front of the traffic going home. Well, here's Andy Courier kicking toward the Widnes fans. And there's another conversion. He can't go wrong. And the man of the match award being made. Yes, I was right. The man of the match, the Widnes number 7, David Hume. I was sure he was in line for something like that. And here's a kick through for Widnes, chasing it. Who's got it? St Helens covered it. Just as well they did that Barry Ledger was there. So Saints now 38 points to 14 down. All they can do is play out time. A case of pride, dignity here, and just having a go. Paul Grove got to chase that kick through. Duncan Platt couldn't take it. None of the Widnes players dare play it. They're in an offside position. Just scrum down. A minute to go on my watch, that's all. The one field this game petering out with such a gap in the difference in the scores. Could be enlightened, as I say, with a dash more fire, but St Helens are not going to allow that if they can possibly help it. Haggerty across there to Bernard Dwyer. Bernard Dwyer running rather too wide, one felt there. Barry Ledger, across the line it comes, it's Haggerty. He's got a beautiful try himself. He's looking a bit tired. I'm sure he'll be glad to get on that aircraft tomorrow for Australia and have something of a rest. That's St Helens moving across. John Fieldhouse, a ball out there. Didn't come. Alan Tate picks it up for Widnes. They've handed it back to Elian. But he's feeling a bit sick about that. And I think a bit sick about something that happened in the Tattle as well. Paul Laughlin trying to get through, not succeeding. Neil Holden turning it back to whoever wants it. It's Paul Forber looking to support. It's there. Tony Burke's there. Can Tony Burke make it for the corner and a flash? He's not going to make it. He can't quite get over. Just that foot short. The referee said let him get up and play it. Across the St Helens line it comes. Can they finish now with the try? There's a gap there. Or is there John Fieldhouse? Out there to Bernard Dwyer. Can Bernard Dwyer make it? I think he can. Is he held on his back? The referee said he's held on his back. And there's the final. There's the final hooter. And Widnes are the 1988 Premiership champions, having defeated St Helens by 38 points to 14. And I don't think anyone on this ground would deny them the medals that they're going to collect. Apart from the lead that St Helens took after 6 minutes with a penalty goal by Paul Laughlin, Widnes have never been headed. And for most of the game, they seem to have the result comfortably in their pockets. 16 points to 2 up at half-time. Pulled back in the second minute of the second half, the 16 points to 4. They then applied the pressure and the score went steadily upwards to finish with the big score, I feel, in the Premiership Championship final, just to show the kind of champions Widnes are. Widnes 38, St Helens 14, and Kurt Sorensen who's led this Widnes side from the front so well all season, now leads his side up the steps here to receive the Premiership trophy, which they'll be able to put on the sideboard in addition to the Championship trophy they won a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And there you'll know by the shout of the Widnes crowd and the applause ringing all round this Old Trafford ground that Sorensen just been showing the cup to anyone who wants to see it from a distance. And each player in turn, as they receive the medal, handing the cup back to their colleague behind him, so that each one can show the cup to their victorious supporters and receive the cheers that they have deserved so well. They led the league for so much of the season. One really can't deny that the cup has gone to perhaps the correct side. The game doesn't always work out like that. But I suppose we must also give credit to St Helens, who've been beset with injuries at the start of the season. It took them a long time to get their side really fit. When they did, they came back into the running with a tremendous late season burst that took them to second place. And even today they've had to turn out the side minus perhaps 4 of the players they would love to have had out there. One of whom I can see now there with a yellow top and red shorts, Andy Platt, who'll be following the tourists out a few weeks after they leave. He'd love to have been out there, and I'm certain he would have made something of a difference. But St Helens have had to readjust in the face of these injuries, and so on, while looking at the tremendous difference in the scoreline, one must give them a certain amount of sympathy and credit them with a great deal of effort. But we must finish, of course, with the camera on the victors, Widnes, the 1988 league champions and the 1988 premiership champions as well. Now they go on the traditional lap of honour, and I noticed that Rick Thackeray, who was brought off after the first tackle of the game, is with them, but he's limping very, very badly indeed. I don't suppose he'll mind that now. He's got the rest of the season to get over it. He'll be happy to limp round with his colleagues after their success. It's just a pity that the St Helens side can't take the plaudits of the crowd as well, as is traditional at Wembley. There's an old saying, the winners can smile and, well, the losers can please themselves, and that seems to be just what is happening here. But we can only close this 1987-88 season again by congratulating Widnes, first of all on their championship win, and then on their premiership championship win. They have really earned them both, and they consider themselves very, very unlucky not to be at Wembley after that controversial defeat at Wigan. But I'm sure this must have given them an awful lot of satisfaction. So congratulations to the Widnes club, and here's the season 1988.